My name is Ashley, and I'm going to be talking about how too much homework can actually be bad for student performance in school. Did you guys know that too much homework can actually lower students' test scores and student grades? Did you guys know that too much homework can take away from valuable time such as family dinners? Kamala Nair from Parenting Magazine stated, "They don't have time to just be kids anymore. They're so bogged down, and since many of the assignments are simply busy work, learning often becomes a chore rather than a positive, constructive experience. Homework overload is also affecting family life. A lot of kids can't even make it to dinner, and as a result, the only interaction they have with their parents involves arguments about homework." I am currently going to school to be an elementary school teacher. Throughout the process, I am required to do many field experience hours in many different classrooms. In many of the classrooms that I'm doing my hours in, I am required to work with the students who are struggling to get through the day with their work. After asking these students what's going on and receiving many answers like, "I'm tired because I stayed up too late doing homework," I really realized the negative impact that too much homework can have on student performance. While growing up, I can recall many nights of arguing with both of my parents over multiple homework problems. Not only just with me, but as my brother got older, I noticed this with him as well. This is no way to spend your family time during the evenings. My sources, I have received this information from doing field experience hours from the teachers and from the internet. My main points, too much homework is taking away from family time. It is taking away from the amount of sleep the students receive per night, and it is taking away from the amount of time students are able to spend on sports, exercise, and other activities and clubs. I have a little quote down here. It says, "I say give the kids a break. Let the kids enjoy life before life gets too tough." I'm going to start out talking about how too much homework is taking away from family time. At times, homework can be all the student has time for in the evening because they're stuck doing such an abundance of homework. While doing my field experience hours, I have noticed that most of the teachers don't just assign one type of homework. It's an abundance of many types. This would include math, writing a paper, studying for a spelling test, and completing like the required reading assignments. Between all of this, students honestly really don't have time for anything else. This last semester, I was working in a kindergarten classroom, and this little girl, I was working with her, she was really struggling to even get through her day of school, and I asked her what was going on. She stated to me that her daddy had got home from the oil rig last night, and she didn't have time to spend any time with him because she was too busy completing homework for the next day. So that really stuck in my mind as how negative of like an impact it can be. I've got another little quote down here. It says, "Family time is sacred time and should be protected and respected." Students are stuck working on so much homework that they honestly, a lot of the times, don't even have time to attend family dinner. A lot of them get stuck eating in their rooms where it's quiet and where it's free from distractions because they have so much work. This is not good because family dinner is a lot of times the only time that the family has bonding time throughout the entire day with busy schedules. Ann Dolan, the founder and president of Educational Connections, states, "Believe it or not, your family's eating habits can have a profound effect on your child's academic success. Students who eat dinner with their families often are more likely to, 1, do well in school, 40% more likely to earn A's and B's in school. 2, be emotionally content and have lower levels of stress. 3, have positive peer relationships and healthier eating habits. 4, refrain from smoking, drinking, and doing drugs. 5, believe their parents are proud of them." Overloads of homework are also increasing student stress and causing family feuds. A Stanford study states 56% of students consider homework to be a primary source of stress, according to the survey data. 43% viewed tests as a primary stressor, while 33% put the pressure to get good grades in that category. Less than 1% of the students said homework was not a stressor. When students bring their or start working on their homework at home and they start to struggle with the problem, they turn to their parents for help. When the parent doesn't quite understand the problem or understand what is going on, it causes arguments because the student is stressed out. Like stated before, when the kids aren't attending family dinner due to homework, this argument over homework a lot of the times is the only bonding time the family is receiving, so that's not good. This doesn't only have a negative impact on family relationships, but also on the student's behavior and performance in the classroom the next day. Great school staff states this: depending on a school's homework policy, teachers may assume students can't have too much of a good thing. The more work assigned, the more learning takes place. But as many great schools parents point out, excessive assignments can take away from family time, which is often in short supply for busy two-income households. There's nothing wrong with wanting your kids to study hard, they argue, but it's important to remember that not all lessons come from hitting the books. Now that we've talked about too much homework taking away from family time, I'm going to talk about how homework is reducing the amount of sleep that students are receiving every night. When students have such an abundance of homework, they will be staying up. They'll stay up till very early hours of the morning, even trying to complete this homework for the next day. Students, especially at the elementary level, need a minimum of 8 hours of sleep per night, and homework is conflicting with this. Even when the students have completed their homework and they've worked so hard on it, it's very hard to unwind from thinking so hard on something. I think everybody can relate to that. It causes restless sleep, and especially in little kids, nightmares. This is causing the student to be less successful in the classroom and on their homework. When they're tired, they're more prone to becoming sick, which will cause them to miss school and even fall behind with their schoolwork, which is not what teachers want for their students. Stanford study states, in their open-ended answers, many students said their homework load led to sleep deprivation and other health problems. The researchers had asked students whether they experienced health issues such as headaches, exhaustion, sleep deprivation, weight loss, and stomach problems. Now that we've talked about too much homework causing causing students to reduce the amount of sleep, we're going to talk about how too much homework is reducing the amount of time that students have for sports, exercise, and other activities and clubs. Too much homework is causing students to be less successful in sports activities and clubs. When they're too stressed out and tired from doing so much homework and their minds are set on their homework, it's really hard for them to focus on the things that are supposed to be getting their minds off of that. This is causing students to be unhealthy. A lot of students are choosing not to play and participate in these sports and clubs due to them not thinking that they can have time management to get everything done. And this is unhealthy because the students are not receiving the proper amount of exercise that they should be receiving per day. Exercise is supposed to be something that's supposed to refresh your brain and make you feel better and help you with your homework, but this isn't happening when they don't have time for it. Too much homework is also affecting potential scholarships. Like I said, students are choosing not to play and participate in these types of clubs due to the homework overload. Many students in this day and age can't afford to go to college without some sort of scholarship help. So many students are having to sell themselves short due to not being able to afford it. A Stanford study states, both the survey data and student responses indicate that spending too much time on homework meant that students were not meeting their developmental needs or cultivating other critical life skills. According to the researchers, students were more likely to drop activities, not see friends or family, and not pursue hobbies they enjoy. So here's my solution to the problem that I am proposing. In my opinion, I think teachers should offer a reasonable amount of time for students to complete homework in the classroom. No, this does not mean when you complete your classroom work that you can work on homework for 10 minutes. This means actually setting aside at least 30 minutes per day for students to work on their homework. The benefits of this is that the students can ask their peers for help or the teacher for help on questions that they don't understand instead of their parents. A second idea is a homework packet. This homework packet would need to be given on Monday, on the first day of the week. In that packet, there needs to be no more than 3 nights worth of homework. The students can either choose to complete this homework at the beginning of the week, spread it out throughout the week, or cram it at the end. It doesn't matter. Either way, it's giving them a lot more free time throughout the week, no matter what night it is. Conclusion. I think it's very obvious that too much homework is having a very negative impact on our student performance today. Like stated before, too much homework is reducing the amount of family time, the amount of sleep received for the student per night, and reducing the amount of time students have for sports, activities, and other clubs. A scholastic study, I'm going to end on this. A scholastic study talks about how a high school teacher, Leslie Frothingham, feels about homework. High school teacher Leslie Frothingham watched her own 2 children struggle with enormous quantities of homework in middle school. The value of it never seemed clear to her. What other job is there where you work all day, come home, have dinner, then work all night, she asks, unless you're some type A attorney. It's not a good way to live one's life. You miss out on self-reflection community. Thus, when she became a teacher, she chose to have a no homework policy. Thank you.
Yes.